Hi, this is Kelly from Crafty Kelly's at www.craftykelly.co.uk. Today I'm just going to bring you a little gift idea using some jars that I filled with some Sweeties, and we're going to decorate them using the Hearts Come Home for Christmas stamp set and the Hometown Greeting edit dies. These are a really nice set of dies. With these like edges. These are the two that we're going to be using. So we're not going to use too many products, but mostly white cardstock. So with this, they're really clever dies. They literally just cut out the edge, so they don't cut out a full image, but you can layer them up and then put them side by side to create a long image for as how long as you want it to be. So we're going to cut out some houses. So here are my houses cut out using my die. They were sitting like this, so you can see that it cuts out the edge. So I'm just going to get my trimmer in and trim those down. So I don't want a massive piece of white at the bottom because these jars don't know if it will fit those ones, but we'll give it a go, hey. And if not, you can always get a slightly bigger jar. See how this turns out. I'm just going to empty this one of all its little sweeties. Get this one down too. Probably fit a little bit better. So all I'm going to do is obviously I'll take more time and get all my little bits out, but for this let's just crack on. And I'm just going to kind of get a feel for where it's going to fit in. So let's give it a little curl, get it in, and then we can stretch out. Now if you want to, you can use a little bit of sticky tape or something to hold it in place, which I might grab a glue dot in just a second so we can get it in the right spot. I'm going to trim off this tree. Go and find my scissors. I might use actually a little bit of wet glue, just a tiny bit, because it dries clear. So I'm actually going to apply it to my finger, smidge it in the corner, and then I can work from there around. I'm just going to hold that in place for a sec. So you can see some glue still, so mine's still drying, so let it dry. Once you've fiddled around with it and you've got it in a good area, I will get my adhesive rubber remover and get off any bits that I need to that maybe got stuck to the outside once it's all dried, but we'll let that sit for a moment and we're going to do the lid. So we want to make the lid pretty as well, so I'm gonna bring a little bit of that in, and we are going to use, I think we're going to cut out one of the deers from the detailed, we're going to use one of the deers from the Detailed Deers Thinlit dies, and we're also going to use a stitch framelit from the Stitch Framelit set, and I think I'm going to use the Starburst pouch. So first of all, let's get the stamp set. There it is. So I'm going to stamp out one of these gorgeous little deers. And I'm just going to do it in black. I'm not going to go crazy with any colours. I've recently re-inked my StazOn because it was getting a little, it wasn't giving a good even coverage. Lovely. So you can wait there for a minute, and we're going to use the Merry Christmas, oh no, not the Merry Christmas, the Hearts Come Home for Christmas. Right, now I'm going to use a little bit of low tack tape, hold it in place. I love the magnet mat, but I just find sometimes things jump around in it. So I also have a lot of friends who I craft with who are deaf and unable to use anything that's magnetised because it interferes with their hearing aids. So I've kind of got into the habit now of taping instead, which that's fine, that works for me. You've got to do what works for you. Now I'm missing a plate. Oh, it's underneath. There it is. Just you have to be careful. This tape seems to tear the Stampin' Up paper. This is the low tack Scotch tape, but most papers I use it on, it doesn't seem to tear, but the Stampin' Up one, it does. I'm not too sure why. So that's why I try and tape it to the die and the outer paper. Right, we've got lovely little elements. Now if you've got some glitter paper or I've got some champagne or silver. Champagne. I've got some of this gorgeous champagne foil paper. I'm just going to cut out one of the starburst circle punch shapes. And so that's almost dry now, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to start popping in my Sweeties. That'll also hold your little goodies in your little design in place. And of course you can put anything you want in these little jars. And we're going to use a couple of glue dots, which are not there, so we use some tape. You can use what you want. I'm just going to use some double-sided tape because I can't find my glue dots. I'm just going to layer now these lovely elements on top of each other. You can use foam pads if you want a bit of dimension in it. Entirely up to you. I'm quite happy with it like this. Oh, I think I might add some sequins to it. I'm not sure how or where I'm going to fit my deer actually. I might stick my deer to the side. Yeah, because he's not going to fit on. But you can layer it up with some more glitter paper, a bit of more stamping on your little tag on the top. Struggling with this today. Oh. I miss my fast fuse. I think I say this every tutorial I do. I miss my fast fuse. And I'm using double-sided tape because this double-sided tape is stronger than the snail. I'm not a fan of the snail because it's I just found that projects don't last if I use it. So now I've got that lovely bit on top, I'm going to get some ribbon. Now I've got lots of different ribbons. So I've got this lovely Merry Merlot, or I've got different coloured twine. So this is Merry Merlot twine, I think, and just some white baker's twine. I've got this lovely stitched, oh I think I'm going to use some stitched. I might use a bit of twine. So I'm going to tie them together. Make sure I got enough to do my nice big bow. Now you can always tie and then retie, so I'm gonna cut that down just a tiny bit because I don't need so much. And then we can retie. Try and get this all level. There we go. Now some people like to tie double knots there. I might just tie a double knot with my baker's twine to hold it all in place. And now I can use that to make my lovely bow. you want to froof around with it, obviously, you know, you can froof and twiddle as much as you want. I'm just trying to get it to turn so I've got that stitchy look on the outside. And then if you're happy with the length, then trim it down as you want to. I'm quite happy with that. And I'm actually just going to use a little bit of double-sided tape. I do this thing where I push it down with my nail to try and get good adhesion to it, and then sometimes it's easier to lift off, but it doesn't always work. I'm going to pop my deer on here. And then we've got our little jar of sweeties, our little jar of goodies, which have been decorated, and would make quite a nice gift. If you are using glue on the inside, make sure you're using sweets that are wrapped. If you're doing sweets out of the bag, I don't suggest you use glue, just so you know. But that's just one way, one little gift idea, or even for craft fairs that you can adapt and use yourself. I hope you've enjoyed doing these little sweetie jars with me today. This has been Kelly from Crafty Kellys at www.craftykelly.co.uk, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!